everyone. Welcome back to Champion the Passion, a weekly pro wrestling podcast where we inspire you to champion your passions and celebrate the joy in what you love. I'm your host. My name is Victoria Daisy, and today we're going to be recapping everything that happened last night on NXT. But before we dive deeper, don't forget to leave a 5-star review if you enjoyed. Follow me at It's Victoria Daisy across all social platforms, and follow Champion the Passion across all streaming platforms. But let's dive right into the opening match. We actually had a lights out match between Lexis King and Miles Bourne. Now, this was such a great match. I have to be honest. I mean, props to Lexis and Miles for working really well together practically in the dark. There was only one big spotlight that hit the stage, but everywhere else it was pretty much pitch black, which was crazy. And to be honest, the two of them have gotten really cool matches as of recent. I mean, first they had their blindfold match, which was epic. Lexis did cheat to win, but this time they had a lights out match, and in the end, Miles Bourne did get his revenge, and I really thought that they utilized all the weapons, and they really utilized the dark to their advantage really well. That really caused awesome spots and just made this match 10 times better than it was if it would have been light. So I was really happy that that was the opening match. I thought it was executed so well. But let's move on to the second match of the night, which it was a promo that turned into a match, but there wasn't really much, so I don't really know. But it was Ethan Page versus Tavion Heights. Now, this was actually kind of random because first Ethan Page cut a promo on this guy from AAA, or Triple A, as he likes to say, which I thought was funny. And he basically called him into the ring for an impromptu match because the guy was sitting front row. And then the guy beat Ethan Page, like, pretty much immediately. It was kind of crazy. And when the guy took off the mask, it was Tavion Heights. I was kind of gagged. Like, I still have no clue what's going on with the storyline anymore. I mean, obviously at, what was it, Heatwave or their last big show, there was that mixed tag match, I believe. It was Chelsea and Ethan versus Tavion and Tyra. And that was really good. But then after that, the girls didn't really get involved anymore. And now I'm just like, okay, what's going on? But this felt equally pointless and funny at the same time. So I can't fully be mad that it happened, but it did feel a bit filler. Then after, we had a match between Jordan Grace and Ariana Grace. And this was a really interesting match because Ariana did get some offense in, but it really did feel like a squash match. But in the end, Jordan Grace won. And after the match, Stax came out to comfort Ariana, which I thought was really interesting after her loss. I love how they've been incorporating them into the same storyline, which I thought was awesome. But then Blake Monroe came out, and she came out with a trash can full of weapons ready to use on Jordan. And her and Jordan went at it. It was crazy. And then after, it got announced that this Saturday at No Mercy, we are getting Jordan Grace versus Blake Monroe in a weaponized steel cage match, which is going to be so exciting. We haven't had a steel cage match on an NXT PLE in a very long time. So I'm super duper excited. And I think the two of them are really going to bring it. Although this does feel must win for Blake. So really looking forward to that match. Then we had a JC Jane segment, aka like the final face-to-face before her and Lola's match at No Mercy. So she started off by wanting the crowd to forget everything that happened last week at Homecoming when Rhea pinned her and Lola cost her the match. She wanted to remind the crowd that she has been champion for over 100 days, which is actually kind of crazy now that I'm thinking about it. It feels like it's been way shorter, to be honest. But she said that in the last 100 days, she's removed every label from herself that the fans have given her about being the most beatable champion or being a transitional champion. And then she started crapping on Lola, saying that this hometown advantage is not going to be a thing this weekend because she will come out on top. But of course, say her name and she appears, not Joe Hendry, Lola Vice. So Lola Vice came out the #1 contender, and Lola said that it's been 100 days of JC barely surviving off of help from other people, but she does not need it. She then said that when she wins, it's not just for her family or her culture, but it's also for her fans that have supported her throughout all of this. Then JC said that on Saturday, she knows Lola will beat her, but not in the end, because some way, somehow, she will find a way to walk out as champion. She can beat her down, but not fully beat her. And she said that her reality will be to walk out as champion, but Lola's reality will be to face her parents and stand in front of them as their biggest disappointment, which I thought was an insane line. insane for JC to say. I thought that was absolute geniusness, honestly. And then Lola chopped her. It was crazy. It was great. And honestly, I really enjoyed this segment. It was really solid. I thought that they both were really good in their dialogue. I don't know, it got me super hype, and I really am wholeheartedly believing that Lola is going to be JC on Saturday, especially with the news earlier today that we got that Jasmine Nix is leaving WWE. They offered her a contract, excuse me, and she denied it. She did make a video coming out saying that, it just wasn't right for her financially to continue doing this. And just personal, she has a lot of injuries and just didn't really get time to shine. So I don't even know if wrestling is in her future, to be honest, but still really excited for that. But that also leads me to believe, okay, well, how does this work with JC's match? Because, it was announced literally last night that Fallon and Jasmine would be ringside with her, or be ringside for the match rather. And now that's not going to happen. So I don't know what the future holds for Fatal Influence. I don't know. I just don't know what the future holds. But I still wholeheartedly believe that even before this announcement was made for Jasmine Nix, I still thought that Lola was going to win, and I still feel that today. So really curious to see what happens at No Mercy. But then the next match we had was a 6-man tag match, Dark State versus Joe Hendry and Chase U. Now this was a wild match, okay? I mean, come on. Anytime Dark State is involved, it's going to be chaos. But I just felt like they just made this match so much better. They're so good. They've gotten so good. And there was just so much, or I should say there was so many good spots and really good storytelling that got me just so hyped. But of course, in the end, our champions, our NXT Tag Team Champions, Dark State, took that W because, duh, they're not going to lose. Then we had the main event, which, whew, I got to take a deep breath before we get into this main event. So we had a title for title match, winner takes all, Trick Williams versus Obafemi. Whoever walked out of that match would be double champion and face Ricky Sainz this Saturday at No Mercy for the NXT Championship. So this match was absolute chaos. If you saw it, then you already know what we are about to talk about. So there was a lot of close calls that had me at the edge of my seat, truly, and a lot of amazing spots and moments that truly made this match all that it was. But in the end, Mike Santana came out of the crowd and interfered. And then all hell broke loose, truly. So we officially had what we were predicting to be the TNA invasion, and dozens of TNA stars flooded the NXT ring and attacked everyone. And then everyone from the NXT locker room came out, and it was just cinema. It literally felt, I can't even think of a comparison. I was going to say the Avengers, but like, against who? Thanos? Like, no. Anyways, I was going to think of a better reference, but I can't. So we're going to move on. But we were all suspecting that this was going to happen, but then when it actually did, I was super hyped. And my hope is that, we can get a really great storyline or match out of this. My dream would be to get NXT versus TNA in a War Games match, have 5 of your best stars from TNA go against 5 of your best stars in NXT. I think it could be absolute cinema. I mean, just think about it for a second. On the TNA side, you could have Trick Williams, Matt Cardona, Moose, crap, who else? I'm blanking. I just thought of it before. Crap, I was just thinking about it. Oh my god, I should have wrote this down. I literally said it in my video earlier today, and now I'm like completely blanking. Mike Santana, Joe Hendry. Those are the other 2 I wanted to say. And then from the NXT side, you could have Javon Evans, Ricky Saints, Obafemi. See, I'm just completely blanking. I really should have wrote these down. Oh my gosh. Oh, Ethan Page and somebody else that I was going to say, and it's not coming to me at the moment, but it's okay. You can watch my video if you want to hear my full prediction on what that match could be like. But I just think it would be a really fun way to settle it. It is dragging it out a bit, but there's so many people involved that I think it could work. But let's head into my overall thoughts. So overall, I thought it was a really good show. My match of the night, hands down, was the main event. I mean, come on. Not just for what happened in the match itself, but mainly what happened after. It was absolute chaos in cinema. My segment of the night was definitely JC Jade and Lola Vice's final face-to-face before their match on Saturday. I thought that they both did a really, really good job at getting the crowd hyped for their match and further advancing their storyline. Overall, I rate the show about an 8.5 out of 10, so continuing this high rating for NXT. Don't forget forget that this Friday I'll be dropping a bonus podcast episode where we will be previewing and predicting the card for NXT No Mercy happening this Saturday. I am super duper excited. But until then, thank you guys so much for watching and listening to this episode of Champion the Passion. Don't forget to leave a 5-star review if you enjoyed. Follow me at It's Victoria Daisy across all social platforms and follow Champion the Passion across all streaming platforms. Don't forget to champion your passions and celebrate the joy in what you love. And I'll see you guys on the next episode. Bye.